All right, it's your boy Spank Dog, aka Puffinstein at YouTube. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You already know. Let's get into it. The New York Knicks are not just in the NBA Finals. Let that sink in. We are in the finals, and not only are we in the finals, we walked into San Antonio, into Wemby's building, on the biggest stage in basketball, and took Game One. That is not small. That is not regular. That is not just another win. That is a statement. For years, Knicks fans have had to hear jokes, doubt, disrespect, and people acting like this franchise would never get back to that kind of moment. But now, look at us, up 1-0 in the NBA Finals after winning the first game on the road. And the beautiful part is it wasn't perfect. That's what makes it even scarier. Brunson didn't have his cleanest shooting night. The Knicks didn't play some flawless masterpiece, but they fought, they defended, they rebounded when it mattered. They got big plays from different people, and when the moment got heavy, they closed like a team that belongs here. So tonight, I'm coming with a full script. I'm going live, unscripted from the heart, because this is one of those moments you feel as a fan. We're going to talk Brunson, Cat, OG, Hart, Bridges, Wemby, the Spurs, and what this game one really means. The Knicks are 3 wins away. Let's talk about it. All right, man. Yeah, so, I can't explain how happy I am that the Knicks are in the finals for the first time since 1999. You know, um, it's not like I just got into basketball. If you're familiar with my page, I'm well versed. And in 1999, I had a watch party, and in my house, I had my man T from Williamsburg. My man Pete had to be there. My man Little J, who I consider like a cousin to me. Um, my brother was there, and on the Knicks, it was Allen Houston, Latrell Sprewell, Marcus Camby, and there were others, but just right off. Oh, I remember Larry Johnson. I think Charlie Ward. I'm not sure, but LJ. Everybody was doing the for the 3-pointer. LJ was hitting the 3-pointers from the corner. That was his thing. He was a guy that was a high flyer, a slasher. But, when you get a little older, if you could knock down that three back then in the corner, you could be special. You know what I'm saying? And this is before the 3-point revolution. So but we got defeated. Has anybody noticed that we keep playing in Texas? We lost to the Houston Rockets, Texas. That was in 1990. 1990. That was yeah, well, no, I don't know exactly that one, but then in 1999 we lost to the Spurs, I believe. So that's Texas, and now we're in Texas again. The last time we've been in the finals that wasn't Texas was when Walt Frazier won it with the Knicks in I think 1973. But yeah, man, it's crazy. Like for us to take game one, and Wemby has proved himself to be a really dominant force. They I wasn't shocked, but I was surprised when Wembenyama took out OKC, or the Spurs rather, because Devin Vassell, De'Aaron Fox, um um Stephon Castle, you know, Captain Turnover. But, you know, he had 11 turnovers and then 9 turnovers. But then the game finally after that, he only had 1 turnover. So, he's not going to be a guy that's always turning the ball over, but he could be a guy that's a high, turnover ratio. But I don't know about that. I think he just had 2 bad games. For people that don't know, because a lot of people, you know, um, the Knicks are made up of a team in Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, and Mikal Bridges, and they won for Villanova, was it, or UConn? I forget. I think it's Villanova. Josh Hart, Brunson, Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, and Mikal Bridges played for Villanova, and either it's Villanova or UConn. I believe it's Villanova. Either or, they won the big dance together. For people who don't know what the big dance is, it's the college, the Division I college championship, and it starts out with 64 teams. That's what makes it so impressive when a team wins, because they can't lose one game, and it's a 64 team tournament, because there's like 300 plus Division I college basketball teams. So but even with that one, Stephon Castle, he was the one, I think, who played for UConn, and he won the national championship as a freshman, I believe, and contributed 17 points, I believe. I don't know his stats. I don't want to quote myself, but Stephon Castle has a national title, and I think he was a one and done, so that's insane. So we got and I'm a Knicks fan, but I'm not gonna hold that out of the equation, because it means that they're good. The Spurs are really good, but the Knicks are better. You know, sometimes I like to talk about the opponent to the point where it might sound like I'm like talking them up too much, but in all actuality, I believe in my Knicks. I've been doing this for a long time. You're talking about, and I'm a New York fan regarding sports, where I root for every New York team. I'm not the Yankees fan that hates the Mets, or the Mets fan that hates the Yankees. I root for both the Mets and the Yankees equally, even though I do have a touch of a edge towards. I lean towards the Mets, just a slight touch, because they were my original favorite team. But like, I've been doing this with the Giants. I've been doing this with any New York team. Some teams people don't consider New York as much as others, but me, I don't do that no more either. I root for the Jets. I root for the Buffalo Bills, because people like to consider it an NYC thing, but it's not. The Buffalo Bills are in New York. I root for the whole state. You know what I'm saying? Let me check the comments real quick too. I don't want to neglect the comments. All right, cool. That's fine. Nobody commented yet. And then I wanted to, all right. Where's it at? Real quick. You know what? It doesn't even matter. Let me go right here. So we're gonna go over the stats for game one. Jalen Brunson had 30 points. He didn't have his best night. He went 12 for 31. But the thing is he was launching 3-pointers. Now, 40% is an amazing clip from 3-point land. But he went 2 for 9. He was horrible. But the crazy thing about that is, if he went 2 for 9 from 3-point land, that means he was getting buckets, inside, mid-range jump shots, layups, and he knocked down 12 shots. 2 of them were threes. That means the other 10 were layups and mid-range. And he's so versatile that he could understand, the 3 ain't going down. Let me start driving and pulling up a little closer, and Karl Anthony Towns also had a great game. See, after Jalen Brunson, this is when you start to understand why the Knicks edged it out. Because every other Knick, pretty much every other Knick shot 50% from the field. So you got Karl Anthony Towns, who went 7 for 15. You got OG Anunoby, who went 5 for 12. You got Josh Hart. Oh, he did bad. That's not who I was talking about. He was 1 for 5. but he had 15 rebounds. That's crazy. And 6 assists and 4 steals. Oh my. Listen, he went 1 for 5 from the field and only had 3 points in the game. And that's the best 1 for 5 3-point finals game I've ever seen in my life. And a lot of people would probably agree because besides not having a lot of points, he only took 5 shots. So it's not like he could have had 30 points. What I like about the 1 for 5 is he was cold, check to see if the other guys were hot, and he didn't end up going 2 for 26. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, to go only have 3 points and go 1 of 5 from the field, but have 15 rebounds as a guard, in a crucial game, and then have 6 assists, 4 steals, and even a block as a guard, he killed it. The field goal percentage was off. He checked to see if the other guys were hot. It worked out because Mikal Bridges, back to the 50% from the field theory I was saying, Mikal Bridges was 3 for 6, 50%. Jose Alvarado, 3 for 6, 50%. Landry Shamet, 5 for 9, 55%, 60%. Miles McBride shot under, but remember, Karl Anthony Towns shot 50%, and OG Anunoby shot like 46%. But the big thing with Anunoby is 46% ain't bad when you knock down 3 3-pointers. You don't understand how happy I am about the Knicks being in it. The crazy thing is I have a few Wembanyamas and regarding trading cards. And I love that he's really going up in price, but that's not something that will make me root against my own New York City team. It don't even matter. I mean, it's probably a couple of $100, but even if it was a large amount of money, I would never root against my team. Never. Let's go Yankees, let's go Mets, let's go Giants, let's go Jets, Knicks, Brooklyn Nets. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn Nets was a beautiful thing. I'm from Brooklyn. So, it felt good when we got a team in Brooklyn and there's one in Manhattan. We're going to take a look at Victor Wembanyama's stats also. 26 points, 12 rebounds, 6 of 21 from the field. See, that's where, he killed them at the free throw line with the 26 points because he only hit 2 3-pointers, and he only knocked down 4 other shots besides that. So he was at the free throw line for at least 14 free throws, something like that. Now, Stephon Castle, I want to see the turnovers. Let me see something. I'm going to have to ask because it didn't come up in the thing I prepared. How many turnovers did Stephon Castle? Let me see something. I'll be checking the comments in a second. How many turnovers does Stephon Castle have in game 1 finals? No, not the Western Conference Finals. The finals. Gotta put against the Knicks. I'm gonna put Knicks because they said 11. They were talking about the Western Conference Finals. He only had 2 turnovers in their loss against the Knicks. You see what I mean? I knew that 9 turnovers, 11 turnovers thing wasn't gonna be a theme because the kid won a national title. He's the best rookie out of that draft class. Maybe there's one other rookie that can compare with him. Alexandra Sarr is from that rookie year. Zachary Reisesher. Jared McCain looks like he could be good like Stephon Castle. So does Alexandra Sarr. But Zachary Reisesher, you got to be careful because they're going to utilize him. I think they're giving the kid they're letting him get his feet wet, but in all actuality, Stephon Castle is a really good player. And I figured he was going to tone it down with the turnovers. But I'm rooting for the Knicks. I hope he has all the turnovers in the world. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let me check the comments again real quick. All right, cool. That's fine. Um, on a side note, Giannis Antetokounmpo shouted out Nikola Jokic. He said he sees the game like nobody else. Mess around, and Giannis is trying to say he wants to go play with the Joker in Denver. You know what I'm saying? But let's get back to the Knicks. All right, yo. So the Knicks, they got game one. I think they could take game two. First of all, they took the game one in San Antonio. It is very hard to be in the finals, and especially the game one, because that home team wants to win the first game at home badly. And they had the Knicks down by 14 points, and they came back in their stadium and housed them. So now we come back to New York. If they could capture game two in New York, the percentages change so drastically. And I don't want to rely on percentages. I've seen the Yankees go up 3-0 and then bring it to the league. It had never happened. So I don't want to count on percentages. We got to knock them out every game. No, going up 2-1 and thinking because the percentages go up to 70. But the fact of the matter is, if they go up 2-0, we have a way better chance of taking the series. So they call them pivotal games. Well, if they win, it'll be a pivotal game. If they lose, then it's a fight. You know what I'm saying? I've seen my teams win. I watched the Giants game where Eli Manning threw that pass where I forget the guy's name. He caught it against his helmet. I seen that victory. I seen the Jeff Hostetler one where the Bills missed the kick. And I was alive and watched live the Phil Simms Giants victory in the Super Bowl also. I seen the Mets win it. I seen the Yankees win it 5 times. I seen Derek Jeter win it like 4 times. I want to see it happen with the Knicks. Definitely. All right, so let me check something real quick. Yo, go check out that Bread Maker song I made, man. The video is crazy. The lyrics are insane. And the beat is insane too. Go check out the Bread Maker by Spank Dog, aka Puffinstein, on this channel right here. It's amazing. Yeah, Knicks stole game one. Brunson could have shot better. But they got a good team. They're deep. That bench is deep. Jose Alvarado with his Grand Theft. Oh, that's what they call it, Grand Theft Alvarado. Yeah, the way he steals the ball looks crazy. You see the guy catch the rebound off of the Knicks miss, so the other team gets the defensive rebound. They go up court, and you see Alvarado in the background creeping. And then when he knows the guy fell asleep, he dashes for the ball. And by the time he's grabbing up the ball, it's too late for the team to let the guy know. It's he's nice at stealing that ball. Oh, Cat is a veteran too. Cat was a number 1 pick. He's never had a bad season and he's never been hurt. I don't remember Cat being hurt, and if he was hurt, it was one time. Like if it was like where he missed a big amount of games, but I don't even think he's an Iron Man, and he's consistent. He's a Hall of Famer. I believe. Especially if the Knicks win this. Cat is a solidified Hall of Famer. He's one of the only big men to shoot 40% from the 3-point line for his career. He's close to it. It's like 39% or something like that, 38%. But that's amazing because he's been out before the game had fully been revolutionized by the three pointer. Because granted, Steph Curry had introduced that you could, shoot that three by that time, but big guys weren't letting it go like that yet. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Cat Carl Anthony Towns. Oh wow! All right, yeah. The Josh Hart thing. He only had 3 points. Give him props for stopping shooting after he missed 4 out of the 5 shots and finding other people, ending up with 6 assists, focusing on rebounds, ending up with 15 rebounds, 4 steals. We're just talking about Jose Alvarado. He had 5 steals in that game that I was talking about. But Josh Hart had 4 steals and a team best plus 22 when on the floor. OG Anunoby solid, and he's very underrated. He's a guy that doesn't mind not having to score 34 points a game, um, um, 31 points a game, 28 points per game. Some people can't even do it. But OG Anunoby puts up a solid 20 at a high clip. I like his game. I do. And I think they use him like they don't let him go out there and kill himself. I think they want to have him ready to go at times. He's really good. OG Anunoby for a guy that's like almost like in between role player and star. And they got a few people like that. After Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, they're all scary. I might have been missing one person. Landry Shamet. Big shout out to Landry Shamet, man. He went 5 for 9 from the 3-point line. No, 3 of 6 from three, 5 of 9 from the field in total. Wemby, like the 26 points Wemby had, it was super inefficient. And I think it was 9 of 26, something like that. I'll tell you right now. 6 of 21. Wow, he really ate at the free throw line. 6 of 21 from the field, 2 of 9 from 3-point land, 26 points. He didn't slack on the rebound tip or the blocks. See, that's why Wemby's dangerous, because he got 26 points on a horrible shooting night, but still had 12 rebounds and 3 blocks. I haven't seen him slack yet on the rebounding tip or the block tip too much. Dylan Harper's been also a super bright spot for the Spurs. Yeah, Dylan Harper's been going nuts. Devin Vassell too. He's been solid, but he had a horrible night. The day that they lost to the Knicks, Devin Vassell was off. I'll tell you Devin Vassell's stats right now. Devin Vassell, 4 for 11 from the field. That's bad, but it's not super. He could have went 2 for 11. He went 4 for 11. Yeah, horrible. 1 from 6 from 3-point land. He had 9 rebounds. That's what's up. But only 9 points. 9 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 of 11 from the field. De'Aaron Fox, also horrible. 3 of 13 from the field, 7 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. He definitely got to do better if he wants the Spurs to win. And that's not me saying I want him to do better. Keep doing bad, because I'm a Knicks fan. But for them Spurs fans out there, they're out there saying that's not enough, De'Aaron. Keldon Johnson, that's kind of horrific, the Keldon Johnson thing, because he won 6th Man of the Year. So they're kind of looking at him like to bring that scoring when they're having trouble. But, he had a bad game. Let me see something real quick. Spurs took 43 threes and only made 11. That's 25%. Overall for the whole field goal percentage, the Knicks shot 41% and the Spurs shot 36%. Knicks executed better. Brunson actually, to be honest with you, the crazy thing is that people were like, he had a bad game. That depends on how you look at it because he came to life when they needed him. Some people would say that's actually clutch. A bad shooting night isn't always a bad shooting night. And I'm serious. People know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, you know, I put this down. Can the Spurs survive if Fox and Vassell combine for only 16 points? And I don't think so. You know, unless Stephon Castle has bigger games. Wemby, you got to be careful with. You cannot let up on him. You cannot let up on him. I love that he's facing a veteran in Carl Anthony Towns. I think, as tall, listen, Wemby is the tallest successful unicorn we've ever had. I mean, he's really out there looking like a 7'4" Kevin Durant. And like some of y'all people might be like, yo, you crazy. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm gonna ask you guys a question. You guys that know about basketball, I play decent. Um, do you see the form in that 3-pointer for a 7'4" man? I've never seen a guy that tall let the ball go with that form. Granted, like I said, he fell in love with the 3-pointer, and the game might have, been a lot of it based that he didn't go inside more, that he fell in love with that 3-pointer and went 6 for what was it, 6 for 21. I'm not gonna look again, but he did horrible, and it could be because he fell in love with that three. And what the Knicks need to do is get Miles. Oh, I'll be forgetting Mitchell Robinson sometimes. I can't do that. Oh, big shout out to Jose Alvarado too, because he's from New York. I think he's from Williamsburg. And I could walk to Williamsburg. You know, so he's from the hood. That's love right there. Big shout out to Jose Alvarado, man. Representing for pretty. Some people consider Williamsburg Bushwick. But just repping for NYC. Period. You know, and the fact that he's from Brooklyn, that's crazy. I'm gonna just look at one more point that I made real quick. The Knicks didn't play perfect. Brunson didn't shoot great, and they still beat San Antonio on the road. That's scary for the Spurs. You know, that's scary for the Spurs. I can't tell you guys how happy I am that we did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and definitely I don't mean we did it yet at all. Any Nick would tell you, even if we went up 3-0, we still got a job to do, and listen, I'm just happy we won game one game at a time, man. Listen, it's your boy Spank Dog. I'm out of here. See something real quick. But I was contemplating popping up a few cards real quick. Yeah, see, there goes your boy right there. He's the enemy. Victor Wembanyama. It's the first time I'm angry about this card. This is his second year. The Monopoly Prism. It's a base card. Nothing special. Let me see what else we got here. Oh, Stephon Castle rookie card. It's also a refractor, what they would call a holo prism. You can't really see the glow that well sometimes. You know, Let me look through these real quick. My boy got knocked out. I wanted him to beat the Spurs so bad, bro. Look, boom, 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 boom. It's really too bad Shea went home because I got more Shays than I do Wemby. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, though. Let me see. This kid, Jared McCain, man, he got busy for OKC. Big shout out to Jared McCain, even though you're going fishing. But yeah, this was like the emergence of Jared McCain, I feel. Look, another Jared McCain. Let's see real quick. It's a little pile. I'm gonna close out with a couple of card showings. There goes your boy Shea. Yo, man, people didn't know about Shea. Remember, Shea came out with Luka Doncic and Trae Young. At that time, Devontae Graham was more highly sought after than Shea. Jalen Brunson, nobody knew about Jalen Brunson either. It was Luka, Trae, Jaren Jackson Jr., and a couple of other people that they held in high regard that ended up falling off. De'Aaron Fox, I think, is going to have a really good career, but the one thing I'll say about De'Aaron Fox, he doesn't look as passionate as he should, and he should be more aggressive, and he should work on that 3-pointer. Facts, he got a good mid-range jump shot, but that's not going to cut it, Let me see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, man. Listen, let's go Knicks. You already know what it is, man. Um, Definitely check out the channel. Run through the channel. There's a lot of stuff that I think people would enjoy. And it's your boy Spank Dog. I'm out of here. Peace. Much love. Let's go Knicks.